Okay, so you know how we all do it, right? Scrolling online, you see like the perfect shirt and you're like, I need that. Boom. A few clicks later, it's like already on its way to your house.
Having this to the best of us.
But have you ever actually like stopped to think about the journey that shirt actually took to get to you?
Yeah, it's kind of wild when you think about it.
It's definitely more complicated than just clicking, add to cart and calling it a day.
Oh, for sure. Way more to it.
There's a whole hidden world going on, like behind the scenes of, well, your entire wardrobe
Absolutely.
and the ones who make it all happen. The unsung heroes of fashion, warehouse operators for clothing.
That's right.
Today, we're diving deep into their world. We've got some really interesting research and career data all about what a warehouse operator asterisk really asterisk does.
This would be interesting.
We'll unpack their day-to-day tasks, what skills you need to have or to build to thrive in this environment, and we'll even get into how things like AI are totally like changing the game for them.
The tech side of things is huge now, yeah.
So no more fluff. Let's just get right into it. First things first, what asterisk does asterisk a warehouse operator even do?
Good question.
I mean, I have some ideas, but I'm guessing it's a lot more than just like, moving boxes around.
Yeah, you're right. It's definitely not your grandpa's warehouse job anymore, that's for sure.
What do you mean?
For one, these days, they're using all kinds of tech. Sophisticated warehouse management systems, or WMS for short.
Fancy.
It's all about tracking inventory in real time.
Makes sense. Things move fast these days.
Right. And we're not talking about a few boxes here and there. It's like mountains of stuff. They're classifying, organizing, you name it. From delicate fabrics, buttons, rolls of zippers, packing materials. You think of it, it's probably in there.
So they're like the conductors of a fashion symphony, making sure every single little piece arrives on cue.
Love that analogy. And honestly, it's pretty accurate.
I mean, there's no way they could keep track of all that without some serious organizational skills, right?
No way. No how.
I was reading that companies can actually lose like a ton of money from warehouse problems.
Oh yeah, big time. Inefficiencies add up. Like we're talking millions.
Wow. Millions. Seriously.
Yeah, millions. Like a misplaced box of buttons, which, let's be real, sounds super small in the grand scheme of things. It can actually throw off this whole production line. Delays, wasted materials, you name it. Customers get frustrated because their stuff is late. It's a ripple effect.
Suddenly those buttons don't seem so small anymore. So this job, it's not just about like liking clothes. It's about understanding how a whole business really works. You need that organization, that detail-oriented mind.
100%.
So for someone who's actually working in this environment, what's it actually asterisk like? Asterisk out. I mean, it's going to be pretty fast-paced and physically demanding, right?
Oh yeah, you're definitely right about the physically demanding part.
So not exactly like a fashion show going on in those warehouses then.
No, not quite. More like organized chaos, sometimes, from what I've heard. Can be pretty noisy, potentially dusty. And yeah, there's a lot of like moving around involved.
Makes sense. So you'd need to be okay with lifting, moving things, being on your feet.
Exactly, you got it.
But then also you got to be like tech savvy at the same time. An interesting combo, right? Brawn and brains.
Yeah, totally. You might start your day like unloading a huge shipment of, I don't know, raw cotton or something using a forklift.
Whoa, hold up. They get to drive forklifts. That's pretty cool, actually.
Right. Then you're switching gears completely, inputting all that inventory data into the system. Like I said, these are not your grandpa's spreadsheets. It's high-tech stuff. Every last zipper accounted for.
Wait, so it's not like they're just off in a corner of the warehouse by themselves all day?
No, not at all. There's tons of collaboration.
Really? Like with who?
Well, you've got the production team, obviously. Got to make sure they've got all the stuff they need to actually, make asterisk the clothes. Then they're shipping. Got to coordinate all the outgoing orders, even dealing with suppliers for the incoming stuff.
Wow, okay, so there was a real people element to this too then.
Big time. It's not just about like knowing where everything is.
Right.
It's about being able to communicate that to other people, deal with problems when they pop up.
Which, knowing my online shopping habits, probably happens a lot.
Probably more than you know.
Okay, so say someone's like really into this kind of work. Where can it take them? Is there an actual career path here?
That's a great question because honestly, a lot of people think warehouse work is like a dead end, but that's just not true.
So there's room to grow.
Oh, absolutely. You can go from like a hands-on role to something way more strategic.
So you're saying I could start out in the warehouse and end up like running the whole plate.
Exactly. Well, maybe not asterisk running asterisk the whole place right away, but definitely on that path.
I like the sound of that.
Our career guide actually breaks it down into like 4 stages.
4 stages. Tell me more.
Yeah. So you've got like warehouse assistant, then you move up to coordinator, then the supervisor.
Okay.
And then finally you hit the top, warehouse manager. Each step you're taking on more responsibility, of course, but you're also learning new skills along the way.
So it's not just about, like, getting a fancier title. It's about actually growing your skill set. I like that.
Exactly.
Okay, so break it down for me. Starting from the bottom, warehouse assistant. What are we talking about there? What skills do you actually need it?
At that level, it's all about proving you're reliable, that you pay attention to detail.
Gotcha. Got to be able to trust you with all those buttons.
Exactly. You're also like a sponge at this stage, learning all the ins and outs of how the warehouse is organized, how to use the equipment safely, that kind of thing.
Laying the groundwork.
Perfect way to put it. Then you move up to coordinator, and things change a bit. Communication becomes way more important. Teamwork, too. You're not just doing your own thing anymore. You might be showing someone new the ropes, maybe delegating tasks, figuring out why something's gone missing or why there's a delay.
Problem solving. Love it.
It's essential at that level, for sure.
Okay, so you've mastered the basics. You're a good communicator. You can handle a problem or two. What's next?
Supervisor. And trust me, this is where those leadership qualities really come into play.
In what way?
You're not just responsible for your asterisk work anymore. You're responsible for a whole team of people. You're setting schedules, making sure everyone's performing well, making sure no one's like cutting corners on safety.
So big picture stuff, but also still got to sweat the small stuff too.
Exactly. And on top of all that, you're starting to think about like how to make the whole operation run even asterisk better asterisk of. Maybe there's a smarter way to organize things, a new process you can implement, that kind of thinking.
So you're going from like sorting those buttons we talked about to redesigning the entire button sorting operation.
That's a great way to put it. You're getting more strategic.
Love it. Okay, and then finally we've got the warehouse manager, the top dog.
This is where you're thinking big picture all the time. You're in charge of the whole warehouse operation, making sure it runs smoothly, managing budgets, probably even negotiating with suppliers, maybe even bringing in new tech to make everyone's lives easier.
Wow, okay, so it really is an entire journey, huh?
For sure. And it just goes to show you, this career path, it's not just about like how strong you are or even how well you know the technical stuff.
It's about being able to adapt, to learn new things, to solve problems.
Exactly. And that leads us to a whole other layer of this conversation.
What's that?
Technology, specifically AI. It's changing the game for warehouse work.
You're not kidding. AI is everywhere these days. And not just warehouse work, right? I mean, feels like AI is popping up in like every industry now.
Totally. And it's not just about the robots, doing the actual work. It's changing how we even find asterisk work in the first place.
So true. Okay, so we were talking about like the skills you need as a warehouse operator and how those change as you move up that career ladder. But then there's this whole other set of skills, right? Like how do you even get your foot in the door in the first place when AI is like writing resumes and stuff?
It's a whole new ball game. And honestly, this is where that other research we have comes in. They've got some seriously cool tools that use AI to like analyze job descriptions.
So it's like AI fighting AI.
Kind of. It's like having the super-powered assistant that can read between the lines of what employers are really asterisk looking for. Even if they don't, like, come right out and say it.
Okay, that makes sense. So instead of like guessing what keywords to put on your resume, this tool's like, here's exactly what you need to highlight to get noticed.
Exactly. Plus, they can help you, like, tailor your resume for each specific job you apply for. Practice interview questions. Some of them even give you feedback on, like, your body language during a virtual interview. Can you believe that?
No way. That's both amazing and kind of terrifying at the same time.
Right. It really makes you think, like, what skills are actually going to be valuable in the future if AI can do all this stuff for us?
Okay, so then that's got to be the big question, right? If a robot can write my resume, what's going to make me, the human, stand out?
$1 million question, for sure. And I think, at least for now, it comes down to the things AI just can't replicate. Things like, actual creativity, critical thinking, being able to read a room, understand people's emotions.
So EQ over IQ, maybe? That human touch.
Exactly. And that's true for, like, any job, not just warehouse work.
Such a good point. It's not about being afraid of the tech. It's about, like, figuring out how to work asterisk with asterisk it,
Mm.
and also realizing that no matter how fancy those robots get, there are some things they're just never going to be able to replace.
Couldn't have said it better myself.
Well, I think that's a perfect place to wrap things up, don't you? We've gone from the warehouse floor all the way to like the cutting edge of AI. And honestly, I think the biggest takeaway here is that this whole world of warehouse operations, it's way more complex and way more interesting than most people realize.
For sure. And whether you're into the hands-on stuff or the tech side or even like the leadership aspect of it, there's definitely something there for everyone.
So next time you're about to hit buy now on that awesome new jacket, take a second to think about all the people behind the scenes making it happen. The organizers, the problem solvers, the ones who make sure your package ends up on your doorstep. They're the unsung heroes of fashion, and today we salute them. That's a wrap, everybody. Thanks for listening.